So it's going to fluctuate based on whatever's inside the camera. Okay, so, and again, I'm going to ask you guys to pay attention to all the devices because you're going to get all of this data back. This is recording right now. So it's going to fluctuate, blah, blah, blah. So really what we're looking for in here are any blue cold spots to be going by. We're going to go with that old adage. I mean, it's really nice when we have weather like this because the ground is going to be really nice and cool for us, and we're going to be able to see those darker spots come across the orange and red, and we're going to try to keep a person in view at all times because our skin temperature is way hotter than everything else. Our first location is actually going to be more of a teach and train session. That goes to you. So the red square means that it is recording, so if you hit it and it turns to a circle, then you need to hit it again so I can splice your videos together, but then you'll be the jerk because then it takes me longer to get your data back.
Sure.
You can see your finger in front of the
No,
camera.
no, it's not my finger.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that is my finger. Sorry.
Alright, there you go. That's why I asked if you were right or left.
thinking,
It's just
okay,
easier
fair enough.
if you just
I was thinking the
listen to what
camera
I
was
tell
over
you.
here, not over here.
Alright, so, but again, the first location is haunted, but it doesn't have a very long history, so it's easy for me to bounce around with you guys. In London as well, she's just as well versed in these devices as I am, so to kind of give you guys a little bit more tactics and training on each one. So we're going to be using a couple of different spirit boxes tonight. So anybody here not familiar with the spirit box? Okay, perfect. Spirit boxes help us communicate with the dead. How does it do that?
EVP.
It actually goes through all of the FM radio stations at a very quick rate. So if you watch the TV shows, it's that very loud static, that annoying static.
Like the movie White Noise.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we are going to, this one actually slowed down a little bit. I slowed it down on purpose because I want the radio chatter to come through. I want those song lyrics and the DJs and the commercials to come through. Those little tidbits of words or phrases you're going to hear, it's a 50-50 chance that it's an answer to a question that one of us is asking. Okay, so this is going to go, you're pretty excited, so I'm going to hand it over.
I saw that on that little walk thing I was telling you about. It looks really cool.
So, again, I'm going to turn it up just a little bit so you can hear it. It's already scanning through the stations. Again, it has one button. Okay, that's all you need to worry about. It's a turnstile right here at the very top. It just turns the volume up and it turns it down.
Okay.
So obviously when I'm talking, we want to keep it down. What's cool about this device is it doesn't record any outside noise, and it also records when it's on mute. So even though we can't hear right now, it's recording a nice even level for us. So when I give you back the recording, you don't have to worry about where we were, or you just look at the timestamps kind of thing. So, and I will give you examples of things that I heard, whether they're relevant or not. So that way it kind of teaches and trains you to listen to those things later on for what you might be able to capture in here. All right, Chatty Cathy, I'm going to need your voice on this one. Yeah. You're pretty chatty. I kind of scope you guys out. That's why I get here early. You got to remember, I'm a writer. You're all characters to me. So,
Okay. Ready.
all right.
Ready for my debut.
It's another spirit box. However, this one doesn't record, but I am putting this one with you because that's also recording audio as well. So when yours is turned up, we'll be able to catch it as well. So yours is a little different. It's the same one you use on a TV show. It only has this big bulky speaker, Velcro to it. It has a button here on the side to turn it on. And then there's a little tab here at the top where my index finger is. You have to keep tapping it to turn it up. Okay, so and then you tap it the other way.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey, as in righty loud, lefty down.
Opposite.
Oh, okay.
Lefty low.
Okay.
Remember that. Lefty low.
Lefty low.
So all you really need to worry about, like I'm going to turn the power off right now. It's already sweeping, so obviously the same thing like I told them when I'm talking, we want to keep it off. And I'll say spirit box is up or down. That'll be kind of cute. And that way,
So this.
that's
right
the
here?
volume.
Okay.
But you need to turn the power on first. The power is on the left, right here.
Okay.
Yep.
I just want to make sure I'm ready. Ready for anything, you know? Okay, on, off. I see it. Okay. So whenever I have a really exciting contribution to this whole thing, I'll turn it on and start yelling in it. Chatty Cathy style?
No, I'm going to teach you how to do that
Okay.
properly.
All right.
Proper
all right,
social cues.
All right. So, EMF meters. You guys see these on your TV shows as well?
Yeah.
Ghost hunters, yeah, totally.
So, they don't actually explain how these things actually work though. So it's going to measure 3 different types of electromagnetic fields. The first one is natural, it comes from the earth. That's why it's not doing anything. The second one is from our electronic devices, cell phones, parking meters, buildings. It's going to make it go into a pulse. We don't want that either. We want this thing to light up like a Christmas tree and go erratic. We want it to go a little nuts. This is our first indication that something else might be going off. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind. I don't get excited with one little gadget going off. That usually means if we had some high activity in one specific area, I need to look at the audio and the video stuff later to make sure things were legitimately what they are. So it doesn't make any sound, it doesn't vibrate, it doesn't do anything. You have to watch it. Okay. You're going to be double-fisted.
It's very fun.
Okay. You're going to be double-fisted. Nice. Now, good thing we don't have any teenagers on the tour besides my daughter, because they don't know what the heck this thing is.
Okay, well,
So,
I don't know how to work it though.
yeah, exactly. So, there's no flash on this guy for a lot of different reasons. So, there's no flash because we don't want any false positives.
should this be doing this?
Yes, that's exactly what you want it to do.
Also, like, this whole thing popped open and
Yep.
I fixed it.
Yeah, it's supposed to do that too.
Sweet. Love that. Okay. All right. We're ready.
No flash, because no false positives against windows, glass, or anything like
Yeah.
that. The other rule of thumb is none of y'all can be in the picture. Okay? You guys didn't sign waivers, I don't do legal crap. We're not getting into all that.
Yep.
So there'll be certain places where I say, let's grab some pictures here, let's grab some pictures there. Without the lasers out, we're not going to do lasers just because it's going to be top heavy. Cops
It's
and
scanning
lasers
radio
don't usually go
station.
well together.
To VG levels.
So it's literally on and off button, snap and shoot. Fair enough? I'm going to use a couple devices myself to kind of keep the party rolling. So I'm going to use a couple of different types of spirit boxes. Now also keep in mind that I have the audio recording. Can you get that wrapped up and zipped up for me, please? Zip up the bag.
Okay.
Thank you.
El Bago.
So, let's see here. What do I want to show you first? So, I'm going to use a spirit box that gives us words in the center of the screen and then saves them to a list. Okay, so the last tour I did had about 75 terms. I'm going to clear them out so that we start off fresh with you guys because they already have their word list. 80% of this is absolute bullshit. Doesn't mean a damn thing. It's the other 5 to 20% that might be something with us, like what you asked. It might be something along with our tour. It might be something for our location or the people that used to be in those locations that I'll be telling stories about. It'll be up to me to be able to give you verifiable links to show you how I got that information and why it's relevant. Does that make that fair? Okay, so again, 80% bullshit. Just remember that. We're not going to get excited about every term. The second one, yeah, we're going to need to shut that one off for a second.
Cool.
The second one
I
is
can do
called
that.
Reverse Spirit Box. Reverse Spirit Box debunked this one as well. This one, they said, was FM radio stations being played backwards. I called BS and I put it in my little sound machine and flipped it forward so I can hear what it actually was. It's literally just a man and a woman saying random words. That's all it is. I don't know how long the loop is because I tried it for over an hour, did not hear the same word twice. So I'm going to turn it up so you guys get the gist of this. This is how I'm going to communicate, and you guys will have the audio because I keep it next to me and the audio stays right here on my chest. So this is what it's going to sound like, complete gibberish.
And why are you doing that?
So the theory here is that because everything is in reverse, when something comes through in forward motion, it's a direct answer. And I'm going to play an EVP for you that I caught a few months ago to kind of show you what I mean by that.
Oh, that's like people saying that the Beatles songs are like
Exactly.
satanic in reverse.
So again, when something comes through in forward motion, it'll make sense. So what I caught a few months ago, I was talking about a woman from England, and this didn't make any sense until one of my guests told me what it actually meant. So I'll play it for you.
Beans breakfast.
I will always repeat it.
That's the English breakfast thing, right?
Is it an Adele song?
So, I will always repeat what I hear. That came out of the reverse spirit box. Okay.
By 5 seconds, that's a long term.
I heard this one this morning. When I looked on your website.
So, what happened, your spirit box told me, I'll fix you, baked beans breakfast, and then the digital spirit box word list gave me the word tea, all within 2.5 minutes of each other. I'll fix you, baked beans breakfast, and tea. That is a breakfast over in the UK, and I was talking about a woman from England in the 1700s. So if that shows you how I have to look at this stuff in the morning, like as a collective, so that way it's not always going to be in real time. The proof sometimes is in the morning. That's why they do that on your TV shows. So that part of the TV shows, I will say, is legit when they're actually going through it the next day. So, you guys ready to hear some ghost stories?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So, where we're standing is haunted. Imagine that. So this place used to be called Big
So
John.
should I turn this shit on?
No, not yet. You're not using it. So,
Oh, sorry, you're like 11. You shouldn't say that.
no, you're fine.
14.
She's 14.
Oh, good.
That makes it
Way
different.
better.
It makes a big difference.
So this place used to be called Big John's Tavern. Big John was a football player for the New York Giants in 1947. Okay, so he used to sit in the back of the bar, and the cadets would come over from the Citadel, which is about 1.5 miles, maybe 2 miles from here, and they would have a drink, but Big John would tell the bartender if they were of age or not. One night, 2 guys come in, they're not of age. Big John tells the bartender to cut them off. They leave pissed off. They come back the next day and try to steal the cash register. John sees what's going on. They get in a big rough and tumble. A couple shots were fired. John gets shot in the neck, and he goes back to the bar and he says, "Get me a beer, get them an ambulance." Now, nobody died. So why is this place haunted? Because the bullet hole that ricocheted off of John is still here. The bullet's not, but the bullet hole is. So it is said that people that sit in the front of the bar where the bullet hole landed can get a little queasy, nauseous, not feeling well, headaches, those kind of things. I bring this story up on purpose. I don't know how paranormal activity is going to affect any of you. If any of you are feeling any of those things that I just mentioned, headaches, nauseous, any of that, you gotta speak up for the other person in your party. It's a big deal. People have passed out from this tour before, from too much paranormal activity. I've had witches and psychics not make it. Like, seriously, it's a big deal. First time somebody dropped, I was in CPR class the next day. And it wasn't the last time. Luckily, I always have a nurse on board. All right, so let's talk about something happier other than our own health going awry. We had a big earthquake here in 1886. That's happy, right? It's a big one for us because Charleston doesn't get earthquakes. Okay, you guys live on the East Coast. Where are you guys from again?
Florida, yeah, East Coast.
Okay, so you know we don't get earthquakes over here.
No.
So a piece of the mantling that's above your heads also wraps around the front of the building, and a piece of it broke off and struck somebody in the head, and allegedly that was where the first death occurred from that earthquake. I don't have any proof of it. I have to take the previous owner of this bar. He used to see darkened shadows out here on East Bay Street after closing. So we'll take that for what it's worth. You guys ready to go ghost hunting?
Yeah.
That's good. We're gonna go this way.
Now can I turn my thingy on?
Not yet.
You'll tell me though.
I like your technical terms though. That's pretty.
My gadget.
Your thingy.
My gear. Oh my god.
Have you ever played Phasmophobia?
No.
No?
Kyle.
Okay. What? It's a fun computer game.
I know, but it's not real.
Well, yeah, but it's still fun.
It's still in my field.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
It's still stuff.
I used to play back in my
Right on,
PlayStation
right
2
on.
days called Fatal Frame.
Fatal what?
Fatal Frame?
I haven't heard of it.
So, the gist of the game was very, very unique.
Yeah.
It was an old Japanese ghost story.
Yeah.
And oh, good. So his EMF is already going off. So the Japanese ghost story was that you can capture ghosts with just a digital camera.
Yeah.
So that was your only weapon.
Yeah.
So ghosts would
Oh
come out
god,
of
that
nowhere.
sounds terrifying.
It was really cool, and really rare to find.
Yeah.
So and they made I think 3 of them, maybe
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That sounds like fun.
All right, so let's teach you guys a little bit more about your devices. First off, where are we standing? This is what I call the old red barn lot. This is where we keep the horses for your carriage rides. Okay, so the ponies are still in there. Your spirit boxes can get loud, so we want to keep those volumes audible to you and your partner only. Okay, so we don't want to spook those ponies because they will kick and scare the shit out of all of us. It does happen quite often. So this is the same red barn lot where they kept the horses that delivered milk to Charleston. So I'm giving you cue words that you're going to be listening for on your spirit boxes. So let's start there with the spirit boxes because I'm going to work with you individually on your camera and show you a few more tricks. Spirit boxes, this isn't TV. This isn't is somebody here with us? That's a yes or no question. We don't do that here. That's not effective at all. S and O are 2 of the most common sounds in the phonetic English language. You say, is somebody here, and they answer no. First off, that means somebody's still here. Second, if they say houses, you think you heard yes. So again, we don't want to mistake somebody else's, like a DJ's word, with the S sound in it for the word yes. So we just don't even do yes or no's at all. Okay, so we're going to go off with something you already know. We're going to start off easy. We all know that the barn is red, right? So we're going to start off with what color is the barn. You're going to wait about 30 seconds or so, and then ask the question again if you didn't get the answer red. Now, red, you really can't deviate. There's no other word to say red unless it's rojo in Spanish, okay? So that's what we're paying attention to. In the event that you don't get answers after 3 or 4 attempts, okay, you're going to move on to another question, something you already know. Maybe the color of your shirt, your name, something along those lines. Okay, so you're going to move on to another question. They're not in the box. You don't need to speak into it. It's a conversation as if somebody is standing right in front of you. These used to be people. We might get teammates from Big John. We might get a stable boy that was killed. I don't know what's going to happen.
How would
here.
it know my name unless you say it?
I don't know that either.
Oh, so it might actually.
It might actually. We don't know that. Again, I'm not at Google for everything paranormal.
You just told him so. We're good.
But this is a very simple type of mentality of we're going to ask questions that you already know the answers to. The next place that we go to, I'm not going to give you such easy questions. So I'm going to give you questions, but you're not going to know the answers to them. You're going to try to find out from your spirit box. So this way it's not a suggestive listening. Right now it is, because you know you're going to be listening for the color red. So you're literally going to find kind of a hot spot. Or actually, you are going to follow him around because he's going to be walking around through all of the parking lot here. You guys are actually going to be looking for a high EMF, and London's going to work with you guys on what to look for with that EMF and how it actually works and why we're standing here. So that's really all the history I have, but I am going to work with the two of you to show you more tricks about your camera, and then London's going to work with you guys to show you more about the EMF and how to answer questions effectively. So let's get those spirit boxes up and let's see what we can capture here. Now my spirit box is already running, but I don't usually even look at it until after I'm done working with you guys, which is funny because as soon as we started walking, I got the word hike. So again, I didn't go over the what's inside the barn question and how that could be relevant to you. So like delivery, milk, horses, draft, all of those things. All right, so your camera. Let's start off with, well, I'm going to take them to this wall. Go ahead and point your camera towards this wall for a second.
Okay.
Okay, now you should have mostly one color.
Yes.
Okay, so the reason why I say you want to try to keep somebody in perspective at all times, watch what happens when I stand in front. Now you have a fluctuation of color.
Right.
Okay, so you guys have worked with these things before in the past, but did you guys look at the video that was on my Facebook page?
We did.
The one with the two people walking by? Okay, so I normally show that video to kind of give people a gist of what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Now there's two blackheads walking by. I've had firemen look at it. I've had mechanics look at it. People that are used to that specific camera, they can't explain it either.
Okay.
So again, you're looking for those black or darker blue spots to go through. And I send that over to YouTube and then back over to the website. But I also watch it on my TV if I need to. So that way, it's a 50-inch. I can see what the hell's going on in the detail. You might miss shit. It's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and turn on your spirit box.
Great.
I want to make sure you are.
I'm ready to do it.
So let's get a little bit of volume out of it. So go ahead and turn it up. Remember that's at the top. Go to the. A little bit more.
That's
that's
it. Oh,
there you go. Oh, right there. All right, so let's start off with something simple. If somebody's actually hanging out with us, tell us what color that barn is. And again, you're not speaking into the box. I've just asked the question. You're gonna wait a few seconds, see if anything comes through, like the color red. And you also have to remember that that answer can go anywhere. I'm listening to that as well.
We could go over there.
Exactly, and I do that all the time. So like our next location, we are gonna break off and I'm gonna do my own little session with London. And I'll ask questions that I didn't even tell you that I'm going to ask. So if somebody turns around and says, what's the number 4? I asked how many people did I bring with me. I ask that question often, but I might go into something different.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like I do it constantly, so you get the question here, but the answer came up way over there.
Yeah.
And nobody even knew what I asked. Oh, I just talked about us separating.
What? What color is the barn?
So you also know that the camera end of that is not really up to our speed with our cell phones.
Mhm.
It is going to pixelate if you move too
Yeah,
fast.
I'll move slower from now on. Yeah, I saw that when I just did that.
We'll like calibrate.
Yeah.
Are you close to the barn?
That's a yes or no question. That's okay. That's why I'm working with you. So try to rephrase it, or how about where are you?
Where are you?
I'll let you guys fluctuate and ask whatever questions. Yeah, ask away. Try to see what you can yes or no's.
Who are you?
Just keep asking questions. And then wait a few seconds.
Sounds like the radio.
It is, because it's fluctuating between...
How do you feel? I think I heard like hot-blooded, check it and see coming through.
More questions.
It did. I swear to goodness.
You guys might want to come
It
check
said
this out.
Kyle twice.
Why are we
It said,
here?
what is your name? It said Kyle. And it was, I asked him and he said it again. Yes, I'm sorry. Well,
The gender of whatever comes through, I don't normally pay attention to, right? Because when I'm going through this, I'm just writing down the timestamp and what the phrase or word is. They just got the name Kyle twice.
and it told me to focus.
I
It said, and it,
It's Kyle.
didn't say anything.
Twins.
no, you're Kyle?
Yeah, my name's
It
Kyle.
wants to talk to you.
What's it want?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. What do you want from Kyle?
I think I heard foreigner on here.
Like the band?
Hot-blooded. Stan or something? Can you say again what you want from Kyle? I'm sorry, I didn't understand. What do you want from Kyle?
No, some speakers, please. Turn it up just a hair.
What do you want from Kyle?
he has a spirit box. I have 2. He's got audio, and I also have audio. So again, a lot of times what I'll do is we're going to separate a little bit in the next location. I'll ask a question that I didn't tell you guys, and the answer can go to you guys. You might turn around and say, "You just said it number 4." You know what I mean?
Dude, I didn't know his name was Kyle.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like Dad. I feel like it's important for us to find out what's going to tell Kyle.
There's something that sounded very inappropriate. Yeah. I just said, what do you want from Kyle? And then she said,
Easy.
I mean,
Easy.
my man!
I do have
but it
the
was-
word reach.
Nice reach around.
It's song, it's radio, I don't know.
I don't think they say that typically on the radio,
Unless it's a
though.
name. Still becomes
Oh, yeah.
Right?
You don't have like a Richard or a Dick in your family, do you?
I have no dicks. There's no dicks in my family.
I have no dicks.
We're all born without them. No, there's no Richard or Dick.
Also, that word could sound like a lot of other things.
Alright, everybody's got
That's
the gist of how the devices
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go learn some history.
Okay.
Let's get those things turned on.
Alright. Kyle!
What?
We are leaving now. Is that okay?
Eat my...
So we eat my ass.
Okay.
Why do you want to have sex with my husband?
London's not always down here. She lives in Berlin.
Oh, we're getting a lot of feedback.
A lot of signals going on here.
What is fun about a spirit having sex with a living person? Getting a lot of activity.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, I know I take you to all the pretty sights. Another parking lot. Alright, so check this out. First off, everybody kind of keep warning that there are 2 homeless people up by the gate. So we're going to stay clear of the gate in the very front. So where are we standing now? This is home to Eliza and Charles Pinkney. So who the heck were they? They had a son named Charles and a nephew named Charles, and they were signers of our Constitution. Pretty big deal for Charles. However, it's 2020. I hate politics. We're going to move on. We're going to talk about Eliza. Eliza married Charles at a young age. Okay? So Dad thought he was dying over in England. Baked beans breakfast. This is where that occurred. So he wanted all the kids home. She didn't want to go. So she got married and she stayed here. So they had kids. Dad got better. Dad started sending gifts over from England. One of those gifts happened to be the plant indigo. You guys have been driving around town. You've probably seen the word indigo a few times. You've probably seen the word pinkney a few times. Indigo creates blue dye that makes our blue jeans blue. Most of us are wearing it tonight. And we still use it. It's a big deal. However, indigo had a deep culture with the Gullah culture with it. So Pinkney's owned slaves that actually already knew how to cultivate this plant. So she just made it profitable. She started using Dad's contacts to sell it overseas. We're talking the 1700s. Yeah, every time I bring up Eliza's name, that will usually go great. So, kind of speaking of that, since we're all watching Merrick's EMF, if you guys notice the blinking light on the back of the Five Church Restaurant, go ahead and turn around and hold that thing up like you're going to take a selfie. It should be in sync within 2 frames of the video with that light over there. That's usually kind of my barometer of how much activity we're going to get out of this place. Sometimes it's blinking, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's just on. Now tonight, pretty good blinking. What's that?
I'm just talking.
Oh. So,
Is that what I'm supposed to do?
not yet. I'm giving you more clues. So, Eliza, a couple weird facts about her for your spirit boxes. Okay? First, you should know that she was the second wife named Eliza from Charles. We're going to try to find out what her maiden name is. So, she goes by
She's the second wife of Charles,
named
named
Eliza.
Eliza. So he had 2 wives named Eliza.
back to back.
Okay.
Chuck was great with the ladies.
He was like making everything.
So Eliza Blank Pinkney is what she goes by. So does the first one. So either one of their maiden names could come through. I'm only only giving you questions of things I've gotten the answers to in the past. So, Eliza, you can ask anything you want to about her death. How old she was, what she died from, where she died, where she buried, all of those things. She's pretty open about talking about anything about her death. You can also ask which president was a pallbearer at her funeral. She will give you the answer. Yes, pretty cool stuff.
She's freaking out. She wants to talk.
She will. She's probably going to talk on something right now.
Eliza, how do you feel right now?
Also try to find out what the daughter's name is. There's only one daughter out of 4 children. I'm going to ask you to do not bring up any of the other children up. Do not ask about them.
Radio said bitch.
So which?
So only ask about the daughter, not the son.
Yes, don't ask
Not
about
the
the
other
son.
children.
Okay, so all activity will stop. So the more we talk, the longer we talk about this, the longer she's going to be hearing us.
Yeah, let's not.
That's fine. We're going to move on. Alright, so you can also ask what happened to the mansion. We are going to separate it here, and I'm going to do my own little EVP session with London. Stay within repairs, just because, again, I don't like these people that are by the gate. Kind of stay clear of them if you can. Nice slow scans from you on the thermal imaging camera. Find your hotspots with your spirit boxes and your EMF. EMF's just going to probably go nuts now that I know it's going to go nuts. Because you're going to speak directly to Eliza, just like you just did. Say, hey Eliza, tell me this. Exactly. So, go ahead and separate so I can see where you guys go and I can go in the opposite direction. So that way our process going. Yeah.
Don't go over that way. Not too far that way because of the homeless people.
Where's your daughter?
Are you talking shit? Ask more questions. Talk.
Eliza? How are you feeling tonight?
You should ask Eliza who replaced her.
Eliza, who replaced you? We just want to know who replaced you.
Eliza, did your husband find somebody new?
No. Heard no.
Oh, yeah, you can't ask yes or no questions.
You can't ask yes or no.
Eliza, what was the name of the woman that replaced you? Eliza, look at this guy.
Gabrielle.
I heard Gabrielle. I guess that's a question to ask.
What was the name of the woman you feel replaced you? Eliza, did you like to take baths or showers? Eliza, what was your pet peeve?
Ask her what her favorite drink was.
Eliza, what was your favorite food? Eliza, what was your most prized possession?
What was her favorite drink?
Eliza, what was your favorite drink? biological children did you really have of yours? Eliza, who is your favorite child?
Who's Eliza?
Is there anyone else here? Who else is here besides Eliza? What do you wish you could tell all of us? Do you want to tell different things to some of us than the rest of us?
It's a yes or no question.
Eliza, what can we help you with?
I'm glad you're holding that, not me.
I keep hearing a lot of...
I would say a lot of inappropriate things.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
It also just kind of sounds like a radio.
You should give her a fuck, marry, kill.
Eliza, can you show us something that's indicative of this not just being a radio? Alright, well, what's a good fuck, marry, kill?
I don't know, what year is she from? I don't know. George W. Bush.
Shit. No. It's gotta be earlier. It's gotta be like Alexander Hamilton.
Abraham Lincoln, or
You're the history buff. You
Alexander
some dudes that are in this realm.
Alexander Hamilton, Benjamin Franklin, and I need the last one. Thomas Jefferson.
Eliza. Fuck, marry, kill. Alexander Hamilton, Benjamin Franklin,
Or Thomas Jefferson.
or Thomas Jefferson. I understand this is difficult. I wouldn't know who to pick either.
I've never
What are
actually
you
seen these
feeling
people.
right now, given the weight of this question? It's important to note we are not mocking you. We are clearly interested, or else we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
We're just trying to relate to you
Your perspective.
on a level that is human to us. And show we're not a threat.
Eliza, have you ever Ligma?
I don't know, like, this is a radio, so I keep hearing radio stuff.
I mean, that's kind of what we've gotten to.
we're definitely hearing things come out.
I'm hearing stuff.
Sometimes it's a dude voice, sometimes it's a girl voice. Sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's a little, but we've heard a lot. Is this recording?
No, that one doesn't record. So
Oh.
that's why we put these two together, because it's kind of like that will catch up on that.
Oh, well, I have heard stuff. It's just hard to tell if it's like a snippet from a song that's on the radio or if it's someone. But he's doing it, so if there's somebody next to me, they're here. And he'll get it.
You've seen Transformers, right?
Yeah, Bumblebee.
Yeah. So you know how he'll talk through like songs and stuff too?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what this is too. So if you hear like Billie Eilish, Bad Guy, like it will still probably mean something.
Okay.
So
I'm a bad guy.
yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I haven't heard anything that's like very obviously made sense given the question that I just asked. But like, I've asked a question and then heard something that came through very, very clearly that was like bread, and I like, I don't know, it just didn't click with me that it was an answer to my question, so I just kind of let it go. But like, there's been times where stuff has come through on here, but I just thought it was recorded, so that he was gonna interpret it. 'Cause I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, okay.
But like, it might have been an
Do
answer.
you want to hang out for a second, like hear the kind of stuff? Okay. Eliza, how are you feeling right now?
What do you guys get?
Stuff.
Yeah, we've gotten some stuff.
Helps, right?
I've had a hard time because like everything that I've heard didn't necessarily, I couldn't correlate it to the question that I asked.
Okay. What do you ask?
I asked a lot of stuff. I asked Eliza, who replaced you? Eliza, who do you feel replaced you? Eliza, how are you feeling right now? Eliza, what do you want us to know? Eliza, do you want some of us to go away? Eliza, do you want all of us to go away? Eliza, what would you want to tell us? Eliza, blah, blah, blah.
What answer?
Who else is here other than
Gandhi.
Eliza? I just got, like, I couldn't really hear any words specifically, but, like, every time I asked a question, there was something that came through that was not just static. But it sounded like songs, like it could have been, like, a Justin Timberlake song, a snippet from anything. Like they were saying bread, and I don't know. We asked her what her favorite food was, and then all I got was like, ah! So I don't know. Do you guys want to hang out and hear me do more stuff?
So, what they had back there, the layout, I didn't tell you the layout. The mansion was in the front, the garden was lined up that was great, and back there, in those parking spaces, would have been the servant quarters. They got, what do you want us to know? And they got the word paint. And as soon as that car left, they said, well, how are you feeling? They got the word exhausted. So that would make sense because they were in the servant quarters. You're up here in the mansion. Let's see what we can get here. So, hey, Eliza, why don't you tell us what happened to the mansion? Why is it not here? Eliza, tell us what happened to the mansion. Why is it not here anymore? Eliza, you know how this works. Just touch the box and give us the answer. Eliza or Charles, tell us what happened to the mansion that was here. Flip it over so you're holding Charles. Eliza or Charles, tell us what happened to the mansion. After the two of you had already passed away.
There's something they want us to know that you haven't gotten on tape before.
That's how I found out about George Washington. He was pallbearer.
Oh,
And I learn stuff every time, every night. So I have to do research in the mornings to make sure, like I can pretty much see the word list and see like where the theme is. If something stands out to me, like I've never seen it before, or okay, yeah, we're only gonna spend a few more minutes here.
Eliza or Charles, what do you want us to know tonight?
There's something under there, just catch it. Traffic.
Eliza or Charles, please say again, what do you want us to know tonight?
Or please something.
Is it recording this?
That's why I put you with that
Is that-
camera,
Okay.
because that's recording audio.
Okay.
So that's
I
the
feel
reason
like
why.
there was a lot on here that didn't capture.
Well, you gotta remember, there's four different spirit boxes. So I
Okay.
have two. My other one's just turned down, so we can listen to that one. This one's not recording either, unless it's the audio piece, but it's recording the word list. So I did everything I could to find devices where you guys get a lot of stuff back. That was the whole point. But that's another reason why I bought that red spirit box that they're using, because it does record. That way you guys can have that one.
I think they're just like freaked out right now.
All right. So anything else captured on yours? Nothing clear.
Not really.
All right.
They seem to have quieted down.
Answers to your questions that I gave you guys. We're going to start with the mansion burned down in 1861. So that was up in that corner, which is why me and Rachel went up there to see if we can capture something. Most of my activity that I caught here was up in that corner. Eliza died at the age of 70 from breast cancer in Philadelphia, and that's also where she's buried. So if you guys ask any of those questions, there's George Washington. George Washington was the pallbearer, just like I told you. And we did get that on the EVP several times now. So I caught it as Washington on the word list when I was here. And I didn't know what Washington meant here. I had to look it up. And then a few weeks later, I got a full George Washington on your spirit list as a report. Very good. Yeah. And I was actually just like a week or two ago. So really cool stuff, dude. Eliza's maiden name is Lucas. So Eliza Lucas Pinckney. The first Eliza, her maiden name was Lamb. So Eliza Lamb Pinckney. The daughter's name was Harriet. So I asked Charles a lot of questions because I basically sicked you two on Eliza. So I go after Charles. So you guys will hear that on your audio with the spirit box that I was using. I did catch a glimpse of a Charles. So I always say what I think I heard and then rewind by 5 seconds. I don't always listen to this again unless it's something perfectly clear, like baked beans breakfast. So that way you guys have something to go back to. Okay, so when you're listening to the audio, it's literally going to be an MP3 so you can move the ball. We are going to go up to Lodge Alley now. Lodge 3 to have Lodge 3. Mask up period. Mask up. We're not going to cut through that gate. We're going to go down along this way. It's all just homeless. We're going to be heading up that street. There will be people eating outside the restaurants.
Okay.
That's why I say mask up. Questions, comments? What are you thinking there, non-believer?
Oh,
He's catching
I
some
got
really
nothing.
good stills, which is good. So a lot of people, like I usually say, get nice slow sweeps of a lot, but he's kept the person in focus pretty much the entire time,
Yeah,
which is good.
Yeah, he wouldn't be doing that if he wasn't into it.
Yeah. He would have been handing it back, and he just said you lied to me. So I'm kidding.
We heard lies right here too.
About something. Really?
Yeah, because we tried to get more of it. All we heard was lies.
Telling lies or something.
Maybe he's calling me a liar.
I'm a researcher.
I know, right? My gimmick is supposed to be honesty. Like, I don't lie to you guys about anything. So your EMF meter, let's talk about that for a second.
It's been wigging out.
When we go on East Bay Street, it's gonna wig out the whole time because of the parking meters. So
What input is it looking for? Sound? Movement?
electromagnetic, so magnetic fields. That comes off of our cell phones and signals and things like that. And then it's looking for anything that we can't explain, which is what makes it go erratic, like what it is now. There's nothing underneath us to make that thing go crazy. When we go on the street, he's gonna have those parking meters with the electrical lines underneath that are
Yeah.
giving off enough energy for it to be able to detect. So that's kind of like what that is looking for. It's our first signal. Along the way, there's some really cool picture photo spots. We're going to walk by the customs house, the market. And when we get to Lodge Alley, I'm going to have you take some pictures of it empty before we all walk into it. Because I always get some weird light anomalies from that place as well. So, but let's go take a hike and see if we can capture this. Okay.
Eliza, how do you feel about us leaving?
no.
Charles,
Yeah.
how do you feel about us leaving? Hope you don't feel bad because we're leaving. We do not intend to upset you. We are just trying to have a fun time. And maybe learn something about you. Because you are important.
Thank you.
Getting a nice view of my butt.
Mhm.
I was asking Kyle if he's good.
I thought you were asking the ghost.
He might be too, I don't know. I think I heard the radio say
Look, a little puppy.
It's all a little puppy.
Reminds me of Zoe. You think she's doing okay?
She's fine.
We have dogs too, I'm worried about. Really?
I'm still hearing some like random, very strange stuff come through, and I'm not asking me anything, so I don't really know. I don't know if any of that was like dead people
Same.
or just different, like
Maybe he died in the last 24 hours. We just don't know about it.
I don't know. I could, you know, that would be tragic, but could be. I feel like this guy would piss off the ghost and get them to leave.
Like, I've ended tours because people were acting. Like, I won't do it.
Right. I feel like he would spark some activity, negative activity. And then call him home.
Gross.
All your love.
Yo, Carmela's super packed tonight. Look at this place.
We just went there.
I know, but look how packed it is. All the tables outside.
Really? I see it.
Yo,
No, you don't want me to.
I'm gonna get to the bathroom.
What?
I'm gonna get to the bathroom.
Probably at this next week.
Hopefully.
Eliza, when do we get to go to the bathroom? Hey, you're not videotaping.
There's only so much you can do right now. We're walking.
Oh, you look so pretty. Eliza, how bad does Kyle have to go to the bathroom? I smell it. Oh, this feels fun. If there's anything that's haunted, it's this.
This guy.
What?
What?
Al contrario.
Gracias.
Hasta luego, mi son.
Que tengas un buen día.
It's always on.
Te amo mucho.
Let me see it.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Do you remember, like,
Did you just say fuck Trump?
I don't know.
I don't know what he said. Were those words?
I'm not-
Eliza, what did the bald gentleman say? Eliza, do we need to rescue the bald gentleman and send him to a institution? I heard yes. I'm not kidding. I heard yes
Well, we're not-
twice. I heard it twice. I heard yes distinctly twice.
that guy's out every night or
From
something?
two different voices, I heard yes twice. I haven't heard anything that made a lot of sense out of here.
Why you on that side, bro?
Because it gives a spookier effect because everybody has to look at me this way.
Welcome to the
Wow.
bad.
So do we need to go back and get him?
Buttons used to be standing over there. So,
You're switching up on me.
it said divide. That, alright, so welcome to Lodge Alley, guys. This is actually one of the oldest streets in Charleston. Obviously only wide enough for a horse and carriage. The cool thing about this place is that it used to be residences down here, so shopping houses. So really small, really poor, low class type people.
I have a full list of residents of every person that's ever lived down here. Names pop up here often. The names I normally get will be Benjamin and John. There was, I think, 3 Johns that I counted that lived down here, but there was a Benjamin and a John that lived down here at the same time. So when I get the 2 names, it's not a coincidence. They're kind of one months. It could come up on any of our devices. So normally, between Karen, no Karen's with us tonight. I won't get into that name right now. I don't work in retail anymore. I don't need that one. So, what else? The peninsula of Charleston used to be much skinnier. All the stuff we have here on the edges is man-made junk. So the buildings that we see down here in the alley across the street weren't there. So if you can imagine that small low tide come through, it would have been a pretty awful place to live. They did do an archaeological digging between these handmade and laid bricks. Found some other tools, silverware, and little articles that were clothing. That's how they were able to determine if they were actual lower class, which they were. So the building that you guys are looking on is Lodge Alley Inn. If the hotel has a claim that goes down here, and I'm going to give them 3 rooms to verify it, so I'm not going to I did, however, get a few of the same people over on Lodge Alley Inn on my tour. So, the Masons and Freemasons have come down here before people lived here, so it's obviously a lot of history here. They used to tell stories about the Sunday they used to live with and on the beach, but I see a lot of activity down here now. So it'll be interesting to see what you guys hear along the way out of here. When we do leave the alley, it is a resident area, so we want to keep those spear boxes really low. We're going to go across the street to a different alley. We don't have any lasers out, so we're good. We're doing like there's some pictures going the opposite way, so you're going to the last one out. I do get weird light anomalies down here. It's usually a green orb, and it's never in the same place. So I have video of it moving. I have green orbs on the walls. I have it on the ground, floating. Like it's everywhere. So it's a matter of whose phone it is, and then my wife analyzes all of this. I don't do the analyzation on the photos. My wife does. So she's the one who graphic design and photography. So I can't talk to her. I can't explain it. So she'll tell me whether it's fault or not. Pretty simple process. So I did get on the thermal imaging camera some like weird tendrils from air conditioning that just came up out of nowhere. And of course you can see where the air conditioning comes out from underneath where that noise. But sometimes we get like a little floater that will pop up out of nowhere. Like kind of high floats. But we can catch it on the thermal imaging. So shadow people get caught down here, all kinds of things. So it's a very interesting alley, like you said. If there's any place haunted here, this is probably it. It's a really cool place. Plus it's very obvious. Very old building, late 1800s, and I don't know how old that one is, to be honest with you.
So all the Johns or Benjamins are dead.
Only one Benjamin, plenty of Johns. Yes, they're dead. Talking, Benjamin and John lived here in 1801, so I'm pretty sure they're dead now.
No, they're still living right here.
John or
Right
Benjamin,
now, right.
how do you feel about us being here?
We're going to kind of walk slowly through here, because it is technically a quiet area, because it is a hotel.
John or Benjamin, is there something you want to tell us? John, Benjamin, what happened here?
London, bring me your phone.
Hi.
I got a name. You need to look up. I get with the Lodge Alley resident page. Type in Lodge Alley resident.
John or Benjamin, what happened here?
What is your name?
Lodge.
John or Benjamin, tell me what happened. What is her name?
Page 12. Wasn't it her name Adam?
John or Benjamin, what hurt you? John, what hurt you? Benjamin, what hurt you? John. John, what made you mad? Benjamin, what made you mad? John, how did you die?
Adam, how are you? How are you today?
John, how did you die?
Adam, are you not safe? Why are you not safe, Adam? Why did you say we're not safe?
Benjamin?
Please what?
Guys, I'm getting stuff to the next location already. So let's move on.
Please what?
Did you get anything out of that? I heard a lot of questions you were asking.
Nothing that. Yeah, I mean, I hear stuff. Nothing that, like, was clearly an answer to my question.
So even with me just listening, not asking any questions, we're going across the street and I'm already getting terms that are relevant to the next door, which makes complete sense because it's been having a lot. Did you grab us some pictures? Cool. All right, let's head over to the next spot. We got 2 more to go.
I thought I heard please and not safe in there.
Not state.
Please, yeah.
Oh. Whoa, good thing we got that there.
This place for
I
sale.
just heard it say rape, like very clear, like
That's why it's not safe.
extremely clear. I haven't heard
Maybe-
anything clear on here that I like understood the words,
Maybe it was
and I
saying
heard rape.
rape, and then it cut off the G instead of rape.
Waxing crescent.
I'm right here.
Thank you.
Oh, I know.
The reason why I moved this along. Come on, Rachel. She's like, come on. You don't even know the story yet.
I heard Tina, Garrett, and Orange. Is any of that relevant?
I had Orange here last week.
Orange?
Yeah.
I definitely heard Orange.
Okay. Interesting. So let's go ahead and cut that off because this is like the longest story that I have, and I tell the story out here so we don't get interrupted. We're about to enter Philadelphia Alley, which is what's behind me. It is the prettiest spot in all of Charleston. I don't care whose opinion it is, it's mine. But it is gorgeous now. It is a very popular ghost tour finale. So I'm going to tell the same story they do, but we have the devices to be able to determine what's actually happening now. So this is Philadelphia Alley now. It used to be called Dueler's Alley. So as in take 20 paces, turn and shoot kind of duels. Before that, it was Cow Alley. I only tell you about Cow Alley because cow often comes up on our spirit boxes or livestock. So again, just about the history of this place. We all tell the story about duels. So there was a doctor that lived in Rhode Island. His name was Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. He was supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Keep in mind, I'm giving you clues for your spirit boxes. So Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. The lawyer handling all of that said, you're not getting married yet. Send the doctor away. I think he's just after your money. So the doctor moves to Charleston to prove he's not just after her money. So he comes down here, and the coachman that brings him into town set him up to be robbed and killed. Not a very good start. Somebody walking by named Ralph Isaacs. Now, keep in mind, Ralph Isaacs in Rhode Island have the same initials. That also pops up on all those spirit boxes. You've seen it on multiple times. That would have been relevant to Eliza, which you keep trying to talk to, because Indigo is here. So,
She's wearing all indigo.
we'll see. I know, right? You should have been the biggest fan. But anyway, so Ralph Isaacs, he says, you don't want to stay here, let me take you somewhere else. So he takes him to 59 Church Street, which is about a mile and a half from here. Yes, that's relevant. So the two become friends. Ralph's an attorney here in town. He's just a regular local. The reason why I bring that up is because I already got the word legal, and right before that, I got the word gun. Talking about a duel that was about to occur. So gun, legal, it all made sense. That's why Russia's involved. So anyway, the doctor's practice starts to take off. It's making lots of money, which means Amanda's going to be moving down soon. He becomes known as the Whistling Doctor. You Google the Whistling Doctor, you get the very long, detailed version of this story. So they used to go see plays together, but they had different seats because the doctor is now in a different part of society because he's making lots of money. So the two had to, the doctor had better seats. So they talked about these plays on the way home. One night they go see Richard III. I don't know which theater because there were dozens here in Charleston at the time. No story can tell you which one specifically. So anyway, they're talking about the new actress that was here. The doctor loved her. Ralph did not. They start to argue. It turns into an insult party on the doctor's fiancée, Amanda, back home. Obviously get pretty pissed off at each other. They go their separate ways. I told you Ralph was from here. He calls the newspaper up and he places an ad telling the entire city of Charleston what a disgrace that the doctor is to the city. He's not from here, he takes all our money, he's too expensive. The doctor obviously sees it, gets pretty pissed off. He says, let's go to Dueler's Alley. Let's go settle this. Now normally, us ignorant Americans in 2020, what do you think of with a duel? What's going to happen?
A duel. I don't know.
What's going to happen?
It's like a rap battle.
Yeah.
Somebody turns too soon.
Okay, but what's the end result?
Somebody dies.
Somebody's going to die. That's what we
Not in 2020.
No, I'm saying that's how we think of it as a
Oh,
duel.
sure.
But that's not always the case. A lot of times they came down here as a matter of courage and bravery that they're willing to take a bullet for whatever they're arguing about. So,
But there wasn't real death.
there was.
Mm.
But when there was, they would go through, you guys see that opening on the far wall over there?
Yep.
I call that the death gate. They
The
would go
imminent death.
They would go through the courtyard and over to the cemetery. They would drop the body and go celebrate the winner afterwards. Here's what happened with the doctor and Ralph. They come down, take the 20 paces, they turn, the doctor points his gun in the air, and he shoots. Active break. So, he didn't want to kill his friend. Let's get out of the way. He's playing a part right where we're standing. So he didn't want to kill his friend, but however, Ralph turns and takes one shot on the knee of the doctor. Blows his knee. His friend's picking up, and instead of carrying him over 55th, they carry him home, 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later. What's the moral of the story? Don't get engaged to Amanda. You're going to die. No, I'm kidding. So, as you walk through the alley, you'll see you can hear the whistles of the doctor. I have two that I can't debunk. We do have a lot of hecklers. There's a fake one for when you're listening to your audio. See how we use different pieces in different locations? So, we need to look up when that happened. We just got the word March as in one. So, oh, and fate. Interesting. Very interesting. So he did write poetry based on his love of Amanda in the city of Charleston. His sister published it 40 to 50 years after his death or something. But if something comes up where the word write, poem, poetry, words, letter, all that stuff is relevant. I've had it multiple times. They also say you can hear gunshots when you walk through here. I've yet to hear a gunshot. Call BS on that. I am going to tell you guys a little bit about the history of the bricks before we walk through here. These up here that we're going to walk on the ground were refreshed and renewed in the 1990s. So they're going to be pretty smooth. You know, everything's going to be pretty flat. As we get to the edge, we do have some dried bricks from slave hands. Their fingerprints are in the bricks, and we have one full handprint. If you do want a picture of it, so you do have our camera, kind of be quick, only because it is outside somebody's home, and he doesn't think that the handprint is real. I don't know how you can not think a handprint in a brick is real. He thinks they were planted to show off the slavery here in Charleston. It just shows how far we've come. We're not going to get any activity out of it. If we do happen to pass through another ghost tour, we will turn our spirit boxes off. But it is the most pretty place in all of Charleston. So if you want pictures, whip out those cell phones, and if it's empty, by all means, take as many pictures as you can. We get weird stuff down here too with the lights and whatnot. So, I'm going to be ahead of you guys to get a nice clear audio. If you listen to your spirit boxes, please keep them low. You can. I will stay away from your two spirit boxes so we get a clear audio for the whistles ahead of time. If you guys wanted to check out the gate, it is to the right when you go through this gate, but I'm going to continue moving left. If you want to, if you want to keep things moving because we're running a little bit, which is fine. We're getting some good activity to watch out. Oh, yep, this gate's open.
Tyler, you're doing a great job.
I gotta give you guys a creepy sound
It's like
effect.
the best picturing you've ever had.
Vámonos, amigos.
It is empty, so if anybody wants pictures, take them while you can.
Oh,
I
cool.
can do the touristy stuff too.
Wow.
And it's gorgeous down here.
Yeah.
And it is always this quiet, day or night.
That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's empty, Merrick, so if you want to grab a few shots for us, that'd be great. Either way.
The wall is original, but the gate itself is not.
New gate.
And now it's a park for kids, so that's always fun.
That's cool. Put dead people in there and our kids play.
Yeah.
It's a circle of life.
Because again, it's not the only what's occurred here. So we have to remember that there's thousands of rules. So again, most of them are only acts of bravery. That's why I say you shoot the bullet into the ground. Or just ignorant Americans and we think that somebody's going to die.
Yeah.
It's not always the case.
I was over there by myself and I said, "Who's here?" And I heard, "I am," very
Nice.
distinctly.
I'm going to head down this way.
What do you want to tell us? I just heard thank you. You want to say something? How's your thing? You're not looking at the thing. What do you want to tell us? What did you just say? What do you want to tell us? What do you think?
Poop.
I just heard poop from here. Alright, so far the only things that I've heard distinctly are Tina, Garrett, I am, and
poop.
thank you. I heard thank you very distinctly. But this is a radio. Shitload of songs on the radio that could come through at any time. I don't know that it's indicative of a ghost haunting the shit out of me. But I'm not ready to dismiss it yet.
Language.
We're going to walk through this thing together, so let's kind of cut this gearbox down, mask it up as we can.
I have a skirt like that. I love those. Yeah, love.
Alright. Masks.
Alright guys, if you want to take photos shooting down the alley, either direction is best, especially since we don't have a group in here and they will probably come in here at some point. Alright guys, so back to dueling. So we're at the point taking part of staring at each other.
Juuling.
Now here in Charleston,
Don't smoke your jewel on the sewer. You get a handprint and a brick. It's a brick. Alright, let's turn those baby back up. See what's good.
Dude, I gotta pee so bad. Like, so bad.
Huh?
I gotta pee so bad.
Brad! I heard Brad! What happened with Brad? Hey, tell me what happened with Brad. Grandma Schnapps?
Grandma Schnapps.
No, I said, well, tell me what happened with Brad, because I heard Brad very distinctly. And they said Grandma Schnapps?
Grandma Snatch.
Maybe you shouldn't be dishing me to go to football games. Oh. So,
That one wasn't my fault. I didn't think it was just a football game.
so where you're leaned on, this is the Wagner building. What's that?
And leaning on something. It was gonna be like something like.
Everyone in the world died right where you're standing.
Everyone in the world, I love that. It's really funny.
She's in drama
You
class.
just
Can't you tell?
absorbed all
Yeah,
of that
that's
into
great.
your body.
You're good.
Thank you.
You're gonna let me work All right, the Wagner building. This used to be a cotton warehouse. So the back of it was obviously the warehouse, and then the offices for the business were in the front. It's condos now, and they're turning the front into a wedding reception area. So 3 indoor and then 1 rooftop, which would be considered waterfront. But the place is haunted, so good luck to those weddings. So, the last person who owned this as a cotton warehouse, his name was George Poirier. George inherited the business from his dad. He had no clue what he was doing. Silver spoon kid, didn't know how to run a business, lost all his money pretty quickly due to his inheritance. He needs to get out of the business altogether. Then we get the boll weevil in town. They're not from around here. Boll weevil's a bug that eats cotton. Okay, we did get the word insects at the very beginning of the tour, and London says, hey, that belongs to the Wagner building. I said, I know, we're too far away. So at any rate, he doesn't want to sell this cotton back to the Americans because it has that boll weevil in there. So what's he do? He sells it to the British. What a jerk. Again, Charleston was much skinnier. Pineapple Park is now across the street from where we are, on East Bay Street, in front of this building. It wasn't there. So he can see that British ship roll in. They load it up from these really cool garage doors by horse and buggy and load all the cotton to one ship.
Yeah, of course.
Once somebody gets to... That dog's happy.
He was real excited.
So once the ship's loaded, somebody gets too close to the cotton with a pipe. The whole ship catches fire, everybody dies.
Haha.
Not in the building.
I knew it.
So
Oh,
George is-
that's how I read a bedtime story to all my friends' kids.
I know,
And
right?
then everybody dies. The end.
Well, George was already depressed because his dad's gone, and now his father's legacy's gone because the cotton just caught fire. So he piles up all the furniture in his office from the second-story window in the front, climbs it, and swings a noose and hangs himself. Now, there's a newspaper kid that caught him the next morning, hanging down the corner to sell his papes, and he sees a swinging corpse in the second-story window. Runs back to the press. I know, right? He runs back to the press to tell him what was going on. Now, our camera does not see through. Our camera does not see through windows. It only looks at glass as an object. It's a temperature only. So what are we looking for on there? You're going to be scanning that second-story window, and we're going to be looking for those blue windows to turn darker blue or black, which means something from the inside is influencing it and causing it to go into a colder temperature. You can also be taking plenty of pictures, and it starts on there's a rounded corner, so it's going to, when we walk up to the front, you're going to start on that rounded corner, and then the first 2 to 3 windows on the inside on East Bay Street. Now, there is another ghost that likes to follow me because it's the same time period. 2 blocks out of where we came out of Philadelphia Alley is Coogan's Porch. So if you haven't been there yet, you should drive this one. Yep, it is haunted if you didn't already know that. It used to be the home of Zoe St. Amand. Now Zoe lived there with her sister Elizabeth. Zoe was a school teacher. I don't know what this person's doing.
Do people live up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're in a neighborhood. So Zoe will sometimes tag along. Now Coogan is a dog. Coogan is the dog that the construction crew fed when they were transitioning Zoe's house into a restaurant. They say you can see Zoe in the ladies' restroom mirror. So if you went to the bathroom, there's a lot of clues I just gave you. So with George, it could be cotton, ship, fire, hang, noose, his name, those kind of things. With Zoe, it might be her name, dog, she still knows about the dog, eat, food, table, very simple words. Restaurant might not come through. And how do I know it's Zoe's? Because her name is spelled Z-O-E. And then a lot of times when her name comes up, I get the word French afterwards. Her last name is Saint Amand. She has French descent here in Charleston. Her ancestors came here with the Huguenots, which is part of how Charlestown started, one of the first religions here. So, again, we're going to be definitely listening to our spirit boxes along the front. You can catch us some second-story windows. I'm boring Kyle to death. Y'all see
Sorry.
how yawns?
No, you're okay.
And then you're going to be taking some pictures for us when we get to the front. Your EMF's going to go crazy when we go back on East Bay because of the parking meters. So pay no attention to that. I'm obviously going to be listening to my spirit box along the way and see what I capture. And then we will call this a night so I can cleanse for the next group and see what comes up next.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Zoe too.
So
Is that woman
your
and then
camera and your recording, that's all captured. Like you can view that later,
Yeah. And so
and you
will
can view the EMF later.
No.
No,
The
and
EMF.
you can't view this later.
So the stuff you're going to get is Pam's recording on the spirit box,
Okay.
my audio,
Okay.
his video,
Okay.
and the entire word list with verifiable links and a quick analysis of what I hear in the spirit box.
Okay, cool. So if I hear anything, I better tell everyone right away. Because it's not being recorded. Or it's not important. It's just BS.
50-50 of it is.
True. I don't want tacos.
What time is it?
What?
What time is it?
50. It's 8:30.
How am I supposed to meet them for dinner or drinks?
9.
9? Okay.
No, wait, 9:30.
Okay. So we can stop somewhere and eat something.
I want a sandwich. I want whatever. I want a burger.
I gotta pee.
Who is here right now? Tell me clearly, who is here right now?
Allegedly, like all the data that I have, it happened on the second floor. All your online stories say it was a third story. Now, this place also used to be a brewery. So, again, get all kinds of things out of here. So, get us a nice good sweep on that second story windows. And I heard something I heard. Did you hear anything on yours?
What happened here? What happened here? I keep hearing dick. Who's here right now? What do you want to tell us?
What do you mean?
What do you want to tell us? Are you embarrassed?
No.
Me neither. I don't care.
Alright, got us a good wide angle of all the windows.
Yeah.
Take that from you then. See what I can
Alright.
see on in the morning. We still recording? Good job.